gonna grow bananas. I'm gonna grow mangoes.
Hey, welcome to Rhubarb Fitness. We are in the kitchen today. Why would we be in the kitchen? Well, 80% of fitness is in the kitchen. It deals with your diet. And today we're going to talk about how you can get some vegetables when it's not growing season. We're going to talk about how to freeze your green beans, woo, but without blanching them first. Ready? Why blanch, and why would I not want to blanch? Well, first off, blanching is kind of takes some time and it's not fun. It's a pain in the neck. And I'm going to be eating these fast enough that I'm not really going to be worried about them going bad, because when you blanch, you're killing some enzymes, which I don't really like doing, but if you're going to preserve it for a while, you're going to need to kill the enzymes so they don't continue to grow and start to mold. But these aren't going to last me a year. And in the olden days, refrigeration and freezing wasn't as reliable as it is today. We can keep steady cold temperatures. You're going to be fine if you can eat this. Well, I'm going to eat mine within a year. I'm not blanching. To start off, you need certain supplies. That's right. Well, one thing you're going to need is a straw. You're also going to need a marker. And it'd be nice to have a freezer bag and a knife. Okay, now for blanching. We're going to do a 5-step process. I said the 5-step process to freezing green beans without blanching. And as King Kong Bundy would have said, 5. Well, let's get started. Here's the 5 steps. Step number 1. You gotta cut the beans, okay? What you're gonna do when you cut the beans is you're gonna cut the tips and you're gonna cut them to size for what you expect to do. You can cut them into 1/2 inch, whole inch, leave them big and long like this. That part is completely up to you. I'm gonna cut mine to roughly 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Maybe even 2 inch, up as high as 2 inches. Alrighty, and step 2 is going to be, you're going to have to label your bag. Step 3, you're going to bag your green beans. Step 4, you're going to straw suck it. You're going to get all the air out of there, or, well, we'll talk about that when we get there. And then you got to freeze them. Now let's start with step 1. Now when we do this, I am assuming that you have already washed your hands, and that you have your green beans, and that you trust them, right? That they're not sprayed with pesticides and stuff, because I'm not washing my green beans. I know right where they came from. They came right from the ground, organically. However, if you don't trust that, you might want to wash yours, but if you do, you're going to have to dry them, because you don't want water to be on them crystallizing when you freeze it, okay? I'm not going to wash mine. I know they're safe. So, step 1 now. Going to cut the green beans. Now I like to do multiple green beans at a time, not just one, just to save time. I'm going to cut off the end. I'm going to end up composting those so nothing goes to waste. Okay, I don't like to waste anything. And then you just take the other side, cut off the ends, just like that. And now with the green beans here, I'll cut them down to a size that I would like. And I take another handful. You can be as meticulous as you want, or you can just kind of go through it fast. Again, we're not wasting any food here. Whatever you don't eat, if you compost it, it's going right back to feed the earth, which is what I do. And I push these along, separate that which I'm going to compost from that which I'm going to freeze and eventually eat. Okay, so now step 1 is done. Now what I'm going to do is step 2. This is a rather easy step. Is you take a marker and your freezer bag and you label it, because sometimes you'd be surprised that you don't recognize the vegetable once it's frozen. So I'll put green beans and then the date. Now step 3, you got to bag it. Right? Now what we're going to do is put all those beans from step 1 that we cut into the bag that we labeled in step 2. Now I like to take it about 3/4 of the way full. I almost lost one. Just stuff them in. Stuff them in. Yeah, I like them not being blanched, because blanching gives it that rubbery kind of texture after you freeze it, and you can avoid that this way. I really like that. Now step 3 is done. Now what we gotta do is what I call the straw suck. Now what we gotta do is just get the air out of here as much as possible, and if you have another means, like a mechanical way of doing it or something, then use it. I'm not. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to zip this up most of the way, plop a straw into the bag, and zip it up to the straw, and then straw suck it. Try to get all the air out that you can. And then feel it. Ha ha ha! It looks like it's been vacuum packed commercially. Okay, and now that's done. You move over to step 5, which is you freeze it. So all that entails now is taking the bag and putting it in the freezer. And then you open it up to eat it when you're ready to eat and enjoy.
And then you simply place the bag into the freezer, like this.
And that's it. That's your 5-step process. It is done. You have green beans year-round now if you want. We got them in the freezer. It doesn't really take that much time, and when you skip the blanching, it's a pretty fast process. So that is my 5-step process, the 5-step process to freezing green beans without blanching. Have a great day.
My baby girl.